Minister of Defense and National Service, Honorable Elias John Kondigwa. United Arab Emirates Ambassador to Tanzania, Khalifa Abdulrahman Al-Marzuki. Chief of Staff of the Chief of Tanzania People's Defense Force, Yusuf Hassani Muhammad. Our host, Colonel Mulishi. Our UN Women Representative Hodan Adu, Ambassador Mula Mula, Army officers and government officials present here, members of the Women, Peace and Security Pillar of the African Women's Leaders Network for Tanzania, Mamivi Nababwana, Habari za asubuhi na salamu alaikum. It is my real pleasure to participate in this ceremony today that marks the handing over of essential items donated by the government of the United Arab Emirates to Tanzania women peacekeepers. I would like to thank the United Arab Emirates Ambassador to Tanzania for being a great partner of the United Republic of Tanzania and the United Nations, and for being a true advocate for gender equality. I would also like to thank the government of Tanzania for its historical role in promoting peace, and especially through contributing peacekeepers, including women peacekeepers, to various UN missions in the world. These items being handed over today, which are from Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, the Supreme Leader of Family Development, President of General Women's Union and Chairperson of the Supreme Council for Motherhood and Childhood of UAE, represent a continuation of the UAE's support to gender equality. Since the inception of the UN Women in 2010, UAE has been a strong supporter to its efforts to empower women all over the world. The UN Women Liaison Office for Gulf Cooperation Council, or GCC, was inaugurated in Abu Dhabi in 2016 under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak and in partnership with the General Women's Union. In 2018, the UN Women Liaison Office for GCC launched the Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak Women Peace and Security Initiative. This program aims to prepare women military officers for work in the military and peacekeeping sectors and to increase the pool of women military officers. The initiative also creates peer-to-peer networks to support deployments and drive the strategic objectives of UN Security Council Resolution 1325, with particular focus on capacity building and training. In Tanzania, the UAE are working closely with UN Women in efforts to support the realization of the rights of women and girls. In 2020, the General Women's Union of UAE partnered with UN Women on a high-level learning visit to UAE for Tanzania government officials, members of parliament, representatives from the judiciary, civil society, religious leaders, and members of the media. The mission enabled the sharing of good practices and lessons to support the law of marriage in Tanzania, especially in relation to the age of marriage. It is through such strong partnership that we are here today to receive these essential commodities that will support the well-being of women on peacekeeping missions. This important gift should remind us that we are living in the world where serious investment in gender equality to build peaceful communities and countries is very important. In the words of the UN Secretary General, gender parity is a moral duty and an operational necessity. To that end, we already know there are sound reasons for increasing the participation of women in peacekeeping at all levels in the ranks in the peacekeeping missions and in all roles, including senior leadership. We know that uniformed women peacekeepers have abilities equal to their male counterparts, they strengthen links with the community they serve, they enable better situational analysis and consequently strengthen the execution of protection of civilian mandates. Although the moral, economic and operational needs are clearly understood, change is too slow in many countries. There are still not nearly enough women in the United Nations peacekeeping operations, and the UN Secretary Council sought to address this in Resolution 2242 of 2015, calling to double the numbers of women in military and police consignment of UN peacekeeping operations. There is a need for collective efforts to address challenges that affect participation of women in peacekeeping contingent to meet 15% of women participation in the military contingent, which is currently at 7%, and 25% of women's military observers and staff officers in peacekeeping operations, which is currently at 15%. Significant progress can be made if we all strengthen efforts to address challenges, including improving women's awareness of deployment opportunities within the United Nations, presenting more exchange programs to promote women peacekeepers, learning from one another, providing more training and development opportunities, and addressing gendered perceptions on the role of women. I would like to reassure you all that United Nations system's commitment to the advancement of the rights of women and promotion of women in the peace and security sector is as strong as ever. Let me again take this opportunity to congratulate the government of the United Republic of Tanzania and the United Arab Emirates, as well as my UN colleagues and all partners for this successfully organized event. Asanteni sana.